Good evening, everyone. Welcome to week 11. I can't actually believe that I've done 11 of these videos now. And it is a first. We are going to be doing a rosé today. It's the middle of the summer. It's rosé time. I appreciate I am in a jumper, sat outside, and it looked kind of cool. The environment, not me. I know I'm not. But we're going to taste a rosé today, and totally honestly, I am not the biggest fan of rosés, and because of that, I think it's important that I still try them and I still see what's going on. So we're actually going to be trying an English rosé today, made by Nicola and Jonathan Kelsey at the Welcombe Hills Vineyard here in the sunny Midlands. It's sunny sometimes. So I'm going to click my fingers and I'm going to show you exactly where it is. So the Welcombe Hills are just outside Stratford, and they're in between Stratford, Warwick and Leamington Spa. Sits pretty much smack in the middle of Great Britain, and it's about 25 miles away from where I grew up. And you probably saw a little blue dot in the maps. That's where I am right now, my fabulous family home in Birmingham. And because of that, it presents an interesting drink for us this evening, an interesting wine, because this is quite far north for even the world in general, even if it wasn't in the UK, to get a decent crop of grapes. And that's because it's quite cool up here, there's quite a lot of rain, and typically you don't get enough daylight and all the other aspects that you need to be able to produce really good grape. Now, this area has a very special microclimate, so it's just south facing, very good free draining soil, and it stays pretty much frost free. So they can, in this very small and very boutique, and it is a boutique wine vineyard, produce incredible wines. They only have 1 hectare, so 2.5 acres of vine, but they have 9 different varietals, so they can produce a wide range of wines. And I'm actually going to do a tasting with 3 other of their wines later on, or maybe a couple others down the line. And it is an incredible little vineyard. They even have on their website, it's the Welcombe Hills Vineyard, have this drone footage where you can watch as they take a drone up and they show you their vineyard and then show you the surrounding areas. And it sits in the Vale of Evesham, and it has music. It has a really nice aspect to it, so they can keep the heat and have this heavy, dense clay soil be able to create this incredible tasting wine. Now, like I said, I'm not a fan of rosés, not because of anything in particular, it just doesn't really appeal to me as a flavour profile, so it's going to be a nice thing to try today. Within this wine, it has 2 grapes that won't be that popular in the UK. There is one called Pinot Noir Précoce, which basically is a mutated version of Pinot Noir, which means it just ripens earlier, which means it needs less sunlight, which means it's suitable for a climate like the UK. And then there's a grape called Dornfelder, which is a relatively young and new style of grape that was created in Germany and is a hybrid of 2 different varietals. You have, and I'm going to have to check this one here, apologies, you have do you know what? I'll put it up down here. Down here, you're going to see what the 2 grapes are that were cloned together to make Dornfelder. But Dornfelder's a dark-skinned grape, and Pinot Noir is a light-skinned grape, and so the 2 of them together produce this beautiful coloured rosé. Okay, you can see it there, and that's it. Dornfelder, Pinot Noir Précoce. Let's see what it tastes like. Okay. Right, I can't reiterate this enough. All these tastings, and it's my dodgy table here, are all first takes, so you see me pour it, this is my initial views and my take on the wine, okay? So the 4 things you need to remember is we're going to look, we're going to sniff, we're going to swirl, and we're going to taste, okay? So, have a look. So look, if you guys can see that there we go, look at that. It's really sort of almost salmon pink, okay? Now on the nose, this has been out of the fridge for about half an hour. Okay. So, light cherry, light fruit, light cherry, some plumminess, a little bit of, I guess, blackcurrant, but also maybe some strawberry and some raspberry there. It's very aromatic. It's incredibly, you just stick your nose in there and you just smell red fruits almost instantly. And actually that's probably really quite appealing. I don't know how dry this is going to be. This might be off dry. It might not be as sort of crisp like Provence rosés, which I know you're all chinning bottles of at the moment. So let's try. Yeah, really aromatic, plummy as well. Lots of sort of red plum. I'm going to have to try that again. Okay, so it's actually really enjoyable. It's quite fruity, and that is plums and a little bit of strawberry and a little bit of raspberry. There is some cherry in there as well. There's a little bit of sort of floral violet note, which I think probably comes from the Pinot Noir a little bit. And then this sort of slightly spicy note that comes right at the end. And the spiciness for me is the thing that makes it so interesting. It is off dry, it is not dry. It does have a little bit, not residual sugar, it's not sweet, but it's really smooth, and it doesn't give you that really dry finish that you sometimes get with Southern French rosés. It's a really nice sort of warm embrace for the palate. It's really smooth, very enjoyable, and it's actually probably something that you could have quite nicely as a glass before a meal, but it actually would work really well with things like salamis. Anything with high salt content would balance really well, so parma ham, salamis, actually things like finocchia, which have a bit of fennel to them, which will work really nicely. A hard cheese, a manchego, a pecorino, anything that's sort of goat's cheesy that has a bit of acidity to it as well, a bit of grassiness. It is fantastic. I mean, I'm sort of surprised by how much I'm enjoying it, which is saying something, because I really don't like rosé, but I should say it again just so you all really understand that I don't like it. But it's very, very enjoyable. It's, I guess, the fruitiness is probably more than most people would search out, but it is a very well balanced and really enjoyable wine. And this is an unusual area of the UK to find a bottle of wine like this, or bottles of wine being made anyway. Most of the wine, and I'm going to click my fingers again, most of the wines of the UK you will have seen just now are along the south coast, where it's a lot warmer. There's a lot more chalk and soil that is more conducive to growing grapes. So not only is this an amazing part of the country to be growing grape, it's really good quality wine. And I guess the last thing is the name. A rose by any other name would smell as sweet, is the full quote from Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. But This wine is actually produced on the former Shakespeare family land. And so every single one of their wines that they produce is named after a character or a famous quotation from Shakespeare. This wine is steeped in history. It's an amazing bottle. You should all give it a try. You can buy direct from them on their website. I highly recommend it. Welcombe Hills Vineyard Rosé. It's Dornfelder and Pinot Noir Précoz. Cheers. It's a nice little inner thigh shot there as well. Cheers, guys.